Hello everyone, my name is Tang, and this is FMT 104, and today is the December 12th, 2018. And a little background on my project before I actually talk about the project. So in the beginning, when everybody was sort of doing the project proposal, I was kind of like thinking to myself, what am I going to do, right? Just like you guys. But then I didn't really want to do a three-way because I figured that's all we learned, so I figured I wanted to do something more. But then that was a challenging part because I didn't really know what to do. So just basically until the due date of the proposal, I still couldn't really think of what I wanted to do, so I went to art and asked them what I should do. I wanted to do something different. But yeah, so originally I wanted to do the comparison between magnetic versus electronic ballast. But someone was doing that, so I went back to the drawing board and started again. So I figure since everyone's going to do a three-way, why not do a smart three-way, right? So I mean, because it's, you know, like, so basically smart devices is based on an IoT protocol, and that's like the protocol that just, for all your little smart devices at home, that's how it talks to each other, right? So that's kind of like the communication part between the smart devices. So I'm sure you guys have any of you guys have smart switches at home? Anybody? No smart devices? Really? Yeah, it's huge now. So I figure, so I thought to myself, this crazy idea that came in my head, right? But then with a limited amount of time. I have a wife and kids, by the way. But so I thought to myself, why not do that? But instead of buying the smart switch themselves, which can be pretty costly because in a three-way configuration of a smart switch, you need a master and you need a slave. So that's how it talks to each other, right? But that's double the cost. So you're buying two switch. So this crazy idea came in my head. I thought to myself, why not do a three-way and just spend one device instead of buying two switch, right? Keep the existing configuration. You don't need to, you know, run new wires, use a three-way, whatever, right? Keep the same configuration, right? You have in your house, right? Add this little device. Genius, right? So I thought, okay, sure, I'll tackle that, right? But then, as soon as I got into it, that's where some of the challenges began. So I had a lot of challenge with this project. Putting in the three-way was very, very direct, right? It was very simple, but how I got this to talk with the little programmer board, right, was a challenge in itself. So what happened was, so the thing is, these boards are very famous. They're based on an ESP8266 chip, right, which has tons of data, tons of support. You could do all types of stuff for it. You could pretty much just smart out your whole entire house, anything you want. Anything you can automate, you could put this guy on and it'll work. So I decided to use this board. But then the thing was, so these boards, when you buy them, they come with the factory firmware, which is kind of like a Chinese company, right? And it's not very open source, so they only allow you to just simply just hook it up, turn something on, and turn something off. Very direct. That's it. So I felt, okay, if I do that, I could just simply turn on this light from my phone or anywhere I want, right? That would be pretty easy. But then, how do you do it? Again, how do you do it with the three-way configuration instead of just turning it off and on? So anyways, so first I had to figure out how to program it and flash it with a different firmware, third-party firmware. So that, I didn't really have the board. I didn't really have any of the programming board, right? All I had was an Arduino. I don't know if you guys ever work with Arduino, but it's a computer. It's a little computer PC board for like hobbies and DIY stuff. But then I've never hooked up an Arduino to this particular chip. So that was the challenging part itself. I won't really go in depth into it, but it took me a long time to do that. And once I was able to flash it with the third-party firmware, then I had to figure out some of the software side. So the software side, it's a little bit of little programming, you know, if you're into that kind of stuff. But then I haven't ever spent time with the software, so I didn't really know how to compile it, all that stuff, right? So, you know, a little bit of the software stuff. So once I got the firmware in here, then I was able to hook it up to the three-way. Then finally, I had to figure, because it gives out a Wi-Fi AP, right? So as soon as I did that, I took the Wi-Fi AP and I connected to this router. And once you connect to this router, you're all set to go. So let me demonstrate for you guys. How it works. Okay, so basically it's very your typical three-way configuration, right? Single pole, double throw, right? And a three-way configuration, right? So one line, one load. So basically what I did was, you know, you had your two travelers, right? It goes here, your line, your load, it all goes to here. And what it does essentially is it tells the board what state it's in. So it's kind of like just telling the board, hey, I'm on, hey, I'm off. That's it, right? Because I mean, technically, if you train it by software, how would it know if this is on or off? So. Okay. Let me pull up the interface. Excuse me, guys, it's kind of taking me a little bit while. So, say you have this for your light. Right? You go upstairs, right? Same thing, right? You're away from home. Like I said, you could automate pretty much, it's limitless on pretty much what you want to do. You could do, I'm thinking about doing a smart garage. You could pretty much automate your fish tank, pump, whatever, I don't know. But these guys are so, so great. I mean, you could do just pretty much everything with it. So, and that concludes my project.